y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the, no, here comes the, here comes the.
And good morning to my Blitz crew. How are you this morning? It's week 12 of the NFL season. We never thought we'd get here. Some of the players actually didn't make it this far, but it's incredible that we actually did. I'm your host, Jason at BFTG Jason. With me, as always, is the guy in the background doing the dirty stuff at Dirty Jobs 21, and we have with us this week on a week 12, Justin. George is off this week. He had to actually go do his real job where he actually gets paid. So we can understand it, but that's like 13 out of the last 12 weeks that he hasn't been able to make it. So maybe Justin's just going to replace him as host. I'm not sure, but Justin, how are you on week 12?
Hey, I'm feeling great. Got the Christmas theme going in the background. I've got just 2 more days of this No Shave November going on. So I see a very, very bright and fun future ahead of us.
Yeah, I mean, with that, I have something I want to bring up that is that's my own personal league, and part of it being a personal league is it's a charity that George and I run. We run a charity called BFTG Charities, and every year we raise money for Toys for Tots. This year we're somewhere between 11 and 12,000. George keeps track of how much we've raised. I know we're somewhere between 11 and 12,000. We just did like a Thanksgiving prop bet challenge, which the Steelers and Ravens kind of ruined on us. But hopefully Tuesday we'll get the final answers and we'll be able to give out the money for the 50-50. But with that, we run a bunch of charity leagues. The way we raise money is we get prizes from Pristine Auction. We buy them ourselves out of our own cash. We run a charity league for a donation, and that donation, 100% of the money goes to the toys, and the winner of the league gets the prize. One of my dynasty leagues has an issue where there's tanking going on. And here's the thing. I am not anti-tanking. I feel like tanking is a viable strategy, right?
I agree.
I'm not a fan of it. I think it sucks for the other teams in the league. But if you're a bad team at the end of the season, I understand. Now, my one rule has always been you have to start a lineup of people that are active, right? Like if you have the ability to start an active player, you have to start an active player. But other than that, it's hard to tell somebody how to set a lineup because, for example, I've had Zeke in a couple of leagues this year over the last several weeks. I've benched him. I benched him this week for players that you wouldn't bench Zeke for. And in a couple of those leagues, I'm a bad team. But here's the thing, it's you can't tell me, 2 of those weeks, Zeke didn't outscore the shitty player that I put in front of him because Zeke's just having a down year. That team's having a bad year. So, how can you tell somebody who is going to be the best starter that week when we can all judge it, but we don't know for sure, right? There's reasons. So, unless you're putting in an injured players or players that are inactive, I tend to let it go. Now, here's where my dilemma comes in. I had somebody come to me and ask me, because we hadn't talked about it before the season, how rookie drafts were for next year. And typically I just do inverse of draft or of win order, right? So if you're the worst team, if you've got the worst win-loss record, and he brought up, let's do, how about potential points? So the least amount of potential points. Now, I don't even know. I haven't looked on Sleeper. I haven't been able to find it on there to say whether you can actually do that.
Well, you can do it manually.
And that's not happening, right? I've got 7 charity leagues I'm commissioner of. That's not happening. But he wanted to have a vote. Now, George already made the decision for everybody because one of the guys went to George and asked without me knowing. He's not the commissioner of the league, but he runs the charity as well, right? Sorry, long story, everybody. We'll get in your questions in 1 second. So he went to George and asked, and George told him it was inverse of win order. So it's the way we all think it was.
Right.
Now, George is not the commissioner of the league, but he's my partner in the charity, and he's the one who recruited most of these people to play.
Right.
I feel like I have to go with that because this guy played his team the last several weeks based on what George told him. Even though he's not the commissioner, he's a rank and file member of the,
Right.
Am I right? Should I go with that? Even though I was going to have a vote on it and let the players decide how they wanted it to do, but he already told somebody and somebody set their lineup based on that expectation multiple weeks in a row.
Well, what was the set rule at the start of the season?
So we just left it default, which is inverse of wins, right? Like nobody talked about it.
I mean, that's really what it should be. But but at the same time, I actually really prefer the potential points set up. So that's probably just something you got to wait for the off season to talk about. I mean, because if I don't know a rule in particular and I go and look it up on the site, I'm not necessarily going to bug the commissioner about it. I'm just going to go by what's on the site. So he may not be the only one in that situation that has benched a couple certain players just to shave some points or maybe try to shave a win or two. So.
And potential points. And listen, I understand it. And as the commissioner, if they vote for it, I'm going to do it. I've told them at the beginning, it's their league. So if they make a decision, I'm going to go with it. Like I'm not in the league. I don't play in the league. I'm only in the league so I can be commissioner, because Sleeper in their infinite wisdom actually doesn't have a setting where you can commission the league, but not be a player in that league.
Right.
So I'm a player with a co-commissioner and he runs the team. So that's basically where I'm at with it. It's just kind of like I tell them whatever they want, and if I have to go add up points for 7 leagues, like I'm gonna do it because it's for charity, and I appreciate every donation. So, all right, so we're getting out of my personal nonsense going on, and I'm gonna jump into the Blitz this morning. So you can give us a call at 205-797-5337. That's 205-79-SLEEP. And you can get right ahead of all these questions we're going to end up with today. And guys, it's going to be insane because how much COVID has screwed with week 12. We've got 2 teams without quarterbacks playing each other. Oof. All right. So we've got, we've got somebody thanking us for the show. That's Mainkiss Brown or Mainkiss Broven. Dana says, good morning. Good morning, Dana. I like how she watches us no matter what time we're on. We were on Thanksgiving. She was watching us then. I really appreciated it.
Yeah, I didn't even watch you guys on Thanksgiving.
So I
think I did for a little bit. I think I did chime in just for a bit, but
I've got to be honest. I didn't know we were doing a show until Thanksgiving morning. So I was in Thanksgiving prep when I found out we were doing a show. Now Mike and George posted it in our group chat, and I just didn't read it. And so they said, "Hey, you coming on?"
Smart play.
Yeah. So
check the text. I never got the text.
Well, so they let me. I called in from my phone, and they watched me set up my smoker, and so I could smoke the mac and cheese. All right. So first question: half point PPR. Benny Snell, Zach Moss, and Gus Edwards.
So how confident are we that this Steelers and Ravens game is going to happen? I mean, the NFL is making it sound like it's very likely to happen. But
it's going to happen. There's too much money, and they can't. What are they going to do? Give both teams a bye and then let them play Week 18 competitively? How fair is that for anybody? It has to happen.
Right.
We talked about this Thursday too. Like the NFL, we all waited around for the NFL to, in the offseason, to come up with a plan for what happens when this scenario plays itself out. And they didn't do shit. They just said, "Yeah, play the season as is." I think they started a little late. They didn't do preseason, but they came up with no plans. There's nothing in place for them to make this work. People are talking about Week 18, but again, so you're going to give both the Ravens and the Steelers an extra week off. How is that right for the rest of the teams?
But then all the other playoff teams will get an extra bye week where they won't.
But that doesn't help the potential playoff teams that miss out. Right? Like the teams that end up, so like if you're a bubble team and you're trying to make the playoffs, you could use that extra week of rest, but you're not going to get it. I mean, you're going to get it at the end of the season because you don't make it.
Right.
So it just sucks. Right. Like, but I
think I'm still going to go with Zach Moss here because for one, Benny Snell is Benny Snell. I don't think that he's even really in a consideration here. I think Edwards could have an amazing game, but COVID is taking that team like its own little tiny what do you call it, pandemic within their own little team. So there's too much risk in starting a guy on Tuesday night if I can avoid it, because get more positive test from both of those teams. So, and Zach Moss is a stud anyway, and he's got a good matchup. I'm gonna roll with Moss.
I'm gonna say Zach Moss as well. And here's what I'm gonna tell everybody here is, if you've got a stud on the Steelers or a stud on the Ravens that doesn't have COVID, I'm going to tell you to start the stud. But when you're talking about Gus Edwards, that's not a stud. Like, in most weeks, you could give me Zach Moss or Gus Edwards, and I would probably say Gus Edwards, but it would take me a second. So, like, when it's close, I'm going to shy away from that game. But when it's, if it's Deontay Johnson, I'm telling you to play Deontay Johnson, and I'll take a 0 if they do something dumb like move it to week 18. But, like, I have to start my studs on these teams if they don't have COVID. Yeah, you were saying it's its own little pandemic. Like, we're going to change the Ravens Stadium name to the White House. That's how bad it's gotten. So, Dare Go That Man 94 says, good morning, fellas. And then he says, I'll get right to it. Well, you didn't. You said good morning first. I picked up Hinton, who's wide receiver eligible. Would you play him over Jacoby Myers, Chenault, or AJ Green in PPR league? People won't like it, but it's because I got to him first. Man, I don't know that I start him because, how good can he be as a quarterback? I mean, the Denver quarterback wasn't good when he actually was a quarterback. I don't know that I play that because they could easily switch to Freeman 5 minutes into the game. They could go 100% Wildcat. I don't know what the hell they're going to do, honestly. I would play Jacoby Myers the way he's been playing and just stay with it.
Yeah, I posted on our Toilets and Titles Twitter account earlier. Somebody had a question that was very similar, and I pretty much just said, Hinton is not Taysom Hill, and the Broncos are not the Saints. Don't fall for this. It's not another gimmick. Plus, a lot of those guys that were taking advantage of the Taysom Hill thing, it was at the tight end position. It's a little bit different than the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
The tight end landscape is horrible, and unless you had one of the top 3 or 4 studs, you were probably desperate for any tight end anyway. It's not the same situation here. You're not desperate with those options.
That's exactly right. So I think so. You say Jacoby Myers, though, right? Of that group.
Yeah, for me, it's either Jacoby Myers or Chenault, but I would probably lean towards Myers.
Yeah, the tough part is I love Chenault's talent. Mike Glennon is not that great of a quarterback, so I'm not expecting a giant uptick on Chenault. It's not like they're going from a really bad quarterback to a better quarterback. They're going from a bad quarterback to a bad quarterback. So
yeah, that's very true. The only reason I was kind of considering Chenault is because of the matchup. The Browns secondary is pathetic, but yeah, I still would steer away from him. And that's
so King Ritzy 20 says, Jason, well, I feel like you should say Justin too. This just not fair. Would you start Beasley, Antonio Brown, or Tim Patrick? He's right now starting Adams, Cooper, Lockett, Tannehill, Wentz, Logan Thomas. Would you start Eckler for sure? Well, so I would start Eckler because he's playing, right? Like we've all seen that he's playing. Balaj is, I think, out. And if they're rolling Eckler out after all this time, he's got to be healthy, right? They held him out longer than some of us expected. It's not like they rushed him back. So I would play him for sure. As far as the top goes, I would start Beasley over Antonio Brown or Tim Patrick. I think Beasley's going to eat with John Brown out.
Yeah, I can agree with that. You do like the fact that Antonio Brown had 14 targets last week, and they're going to him more and more every week. So they're really trying to find a way for him to be one of the key focal points of that offense. But Beasley's been playing too well right now, and you're right. Well, now the other thing to consider with John Brown out, they might consider sliding a better defensive back on him, but Beasley's still going to play that same slot position. I mean, he's a slot receiver. That's just what he does. So I don't think that'll be too much of a threat to Beasley.
I don't think so. I think, he always seems to get his, especially when the situation calls for it. I think he's going to be fine. I think going forward, he's a great start. Antonio Brown, I like Antonio Brown. I'm a Tampa fan, but I think over the last several games, Brady is 1 for 15 and passes over 15 yards, and zero for 18 on passes over 20 or so. I don't know what it is, but it's like his down the field passes have sucked. And for whatever reason, that's all Byron Leftwich is calling for them. Like, the infuriating thing about last Sunday night's game or Monday night's game where Tampa lost to the Rams was the underneath stuff was working over and over and over again, but they kept getting away from it and trying to go deep, and he kept missing and throwing interceptions and missing. Until that gets straightened out, I'm avoiding Brown a little bit because I think what he does deep isn't working out for them.
Right. Or unless they have like a solid matchup.
Exactly. And listen, this is a pass happy matchup. They're going to get down big, I feel, against the Chiefs. So like they're going to have to throw it. I'm sorry, Ronald Jones truthers, but like they're going to have to throw it. I see a lot of Leonard Fournette in this game, and I hate to say that because I'm not a Fournette fan in the backfield, but they're going to have to throw it a lot. So maybe that's why you'd pick Antonio Brown. But I think Beasley's got the safe floor with a really high upside, especially in a PPR where he's going to catch a shit ton of balls.
Right.
All right. Dana says she needs one running back, one flex. So the running backs are Wayne Gallman, Gio Bernard, Chase Edmonds, Melvin Gordon, Damian Harris, Justin. Oh, yeah, that's it for the running backs. I'm going to take Damian Harris.
Yes, definitely.
Against the Cardinals, he's playing too good. Gallman looked good before injury. Gio's been okay. Chase Edmonds looks great, but Drake is back. Melvin Gordon's in that game that we have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm taking Damian Harris. And then you get to the flex spot, and we're going to throw all of those running backs away because she's got Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and Chris Godwin. This team is absolutely amazing, Dana, and I have no idea who you're playing so that you can't play more of these people. God, I hate to sit Justin Jefferson, but man, Cooper Kupp just went off. Chris Godwin's an okay start, like we talked about. They're going to pass it. Justin, where are you going here? You going with your namesake?
I have to go with Cooper Kupp. I do agree with you on the Damian Harris side too, because the only one close there would be Gio Bernard, and he's been banged up. So if you're going to choose between the two, you may as well go with the healthier option. So, but I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp here. I mean, you can't bench Cooper Kupp, right?
Man, I was thinking the same thing about Justin Jefferson, though.
Yeah, you're right.
I was just thinking that, I don't know what else she has, and she's a smart player, so whatever it is has got to be good. For this to be
Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill, probably.
That's exactly what it's got to be. This is the league where Dana plays by herself, I guess. I don't know because she's got it all. I'm gonna go with you on Cooper Kupp, but I'm real sad I have to sit Justin Jefferson. I'm real sad I had to hit Justin. And Dana, if this happens to be a dynasty league, you look relatively weak at running back and super strong at wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Take some of that wide receiver talent and get a running back. I know we're probably past trade deadlines in most redraft leagues. So that's my goal for you is to take some of that wide receiver depth and go to running back if it's dynasty.
Yeah, I agree.
And
looks like we got a couple calls.
All right, let's switch over to the calls. Caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, this is the new cut. Y'all be back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is Curtis, baby.
Yeah, I know Curtis, man.
I mean, I'm on top of it. Rest easy. Curtis is on the cake.
Come on, Curtis, man.
Curtis, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, guys? What's up, man?
I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, Curtis.
Man, Thanksgiving was it was good, man. It a lot of food. Went to food come on.
Oh yeah, food coma was always the risk. I mean, listen, those games kind of put me to sleep too, and then there wasn't a nighttime game, which made it even better. I was asleep early, Curtis, early with all that turkey. What's going on, Curtis? What can we do for you this week?
All right, guys. Well, a lot of news happened this weekend, so I made some moves. All right, guys. This weekend with the news with James Conner going getting COVID, which I feel like a kind of a blessing in disguise because he's been a trap lately. with my running backs, I'm looking at Josh Jacobs. I picked up Benny Snells. I got Raheem Mostert. I got Giovanni Bernard, and I got Ronald Jones.
How many you have to start? How many out of those?
Just two.
Two. Okay.
It's easy for me. I think I'm going to go with Jacobs, and even though it may not be popular to start Raheem Mostert this early on, I think he's one of the few healthy options they have in that backfield. I know the Rams defense is tough, but it's still Raheem Mostert. He only needs to break 2 or 3 of them. But I think with those other options, I'm going to go with Mostert as well.
That's actually where I was leaning to. I was trying to justify saying Ronald Jones, but I just got done saying that that's going to be a passing game and potentially a Leonard Fournette game. So I'm going that way as well. I don't want to start Mostert, but I feel like you're right. He only needs to take 180 yards to the house, and you're going to have a day. And it's funny because most other players you can't rely on that, but he's one of those guys that it seems like every time he gets in the game he does it. So he's like the Will Fuller of running backs. When he's healthy, you got to play him.
That makes sense. All right, guys. Well, my receiver's kind of set. I have Michael Thomas, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, so I'm not really moving. I'm not really playing with that. For my flex position, I have Christian Kirk there. I can sub out Christian Kirk for one of those running backs, and also I thought it was like a sneaky play just because he's starting at quarterback this week. And I could still put on receiver. What's that name? Kendall. I picked him up because he still had a receiver marking him. I said, well, if anything, I could put him in my flex position and have a quarterback as my flex.
I think you've got too good of options
as a receiver.
I think you got too good of options to do that, Curtis. Like if you were struggling for somebody to put there, I might do it, but your options are good enough that I wouldn't vacate a flex or a wide receiver for a guy who knows when the last time he played quarterback was.
All right. So who you like this week? Choices are Christian Kirk, Benny Snells, Chase Edmonds, Giovanni Bernard, and Ronald Jones.
I think I'm rolling with Christian Kirk, honestly.
I think I'm still going to stick with Rojo. I think, I agree that I don't think it's a great start, but I also don't know about trusting Christian Kirk either.
So Christian Kirk, I saw this today. Christian Kirk has outscored DeAndre Hopkins since week 5. Like it's real. I don't like it. I'm not a giant fan of Christian Kirk. Like I left him for dead in the gutter like week 4. If you watch the show, I made that statement and people made fun of me for it, and they should have. But week 4, it was looking like Isabella was going to take his slot, but since week 5 on, he's outscored DeAndre Hopkins. He's played well every week, gotten himself a handful of touchdowns. So like, I'm going to go with Kirk. I know sometimes Ty goes to the runner. Mike, do you want to jump in and weigh in? Would you do Kirk or Ronald Jones?
I feel like I probably lean Kirk right here, just because of the volume play, and Ronald Jones just scares me. The guy is one fumble away from being kicked out for the whole entire game. Although it does seem like they have kind of curbed away from that they actually give him the opportunity. But I just don't like that. I don't like that defense. I don't like that opportunity for him. I've got to lean Christian Kirk. I think he has a pretty decent day today.
Do you know who has outscored Christian Kirk? Do you know who has outscored Christian Kirk since week 5?
Who? Ronald Jones?
Jones.
Yeah, but you know the thing is that a lot of that came on that 197 yard couple touchdown day. What's he done over the last 2 weeks? Because last week
the last 2 weeks.
No, it was the last. I think that's last. Well, okay, so 2 out of the last 3 weeks he scored under 5. Like I think under 5 points, because last week he only got a handful of touches, and they gave it to Leonard Fournette, and then I think either 2 or 3 weeks ago was the game where they only ran the ball a total of 4 times, and one was a kneel down by a quarterback. So like, it's just hard to trust the Bucs backfield at this point for me. So that's why I'm leaning Kirk.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it for sure. It's just I feel the same way about Kirk. The last 2 weeks, he's gotten 50 yards and 27 yards, no touchdowns. So, I mean, I think the inconsistency is there for both of them.
Both, yeah.
I think really it just depends on your matchup and go with your gut for sure.
Because I have Kyler Murray, so it will be a nice stack of anything.
Yep. It'd be good if they can connect on this one.
That's true.
All right. But all right then, guys. Thank you very much. I'm going to see what I can make happen this weekend.
Thanks, Curtis.
Have a great day.
Have a good rest of your day, man.
I think.
Good luck this week. All right, and with Curtis clear, we've got another phone call. So, caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Good morning, guys. This is Oswaldo from Austin, Texas.
Hey, Oswaldo. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going? I have some questions about my lineup.
Okay.
So, I got Jacobs. I got Jay Robinson and CEH. But I was wondering if I should flex instead of one of the running backs, flex like Godwin or somebody or Antonio Brown.
I like your running backs. I like your running backs there. I think I'd leave them as is.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
What else you got?
The only good thing about that is my opponent lost both his starting running backs, Connor and Gurley.
Oof.
Nice.
Yeah, he's in a bad. You're gonna cruise through this week, man. You got lucky.
I hope you need this
Hopefully
to get in.
What'd you say?
He hopes you need this to get in.
Yeah. Does this win get you in the playoffs?
I'm second place.
Nice.
I'm one behind the number one. I'm 8-3, and then I'm in good shape for to make the playoffs.
That's
Right
good. All right.
All right, guys.
Well,
Appreciate it.
Oh, is
Good
that it? Good luck this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. My roster's pretty simple. I don't have nobody else. Everybody else is hurt.
You're just starting a team out of necessity.
I got David Johnson in the IR. I got Jay Williams, Brian Hill. I don't know if that's an option.
Brian Hill's not a bad start.
I don't know
But
about those other guys, though.
I wouldn't put him over any of the other guys you said, though. No, but that's it. I mean, listen, if that's not a bad handcuff to have, he looked good when Todd Gurley was on the field, so he'll have a good day today.
Right.
Okay. Alrighty. Now I had a question. As far as Bell, like say David Johnson has to come back, right? And I have to like drop somebody to make room for him. Do I drop Bell? I know he's my insurance for Clyde, but what do y'all think?
Well, I think if Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes down, is Bell really going to be your insurance, or is it going to be one of those other 17 awesome running backs you have?
Right.
Like I think you're still because it could be one of those other guys that go down, and then you're still stuck with Bell on your bench. So like, I don't know that Bell is the best bet to have as insurance policy right now when you already have good insurance.
Yeah, it's not like they're doing a lot with him, and if he goes out, yeah, he could be the starter for Kansas City, but they're still going to work Darrell Williams in there a bunch, like they did it with when CEH was the only guy there too. So if Bell starts playing a lot and doing well before a potential injury to CEH, like maybe you're going to hang on to him, but as it stands currently, the way it's constructed, I'm not holding on to him. I'm not worried about holding him.
Okay. I feel like a big dummy. I dropped Hines. Yeah, what was it, like on Friday or Saturday when the news broke about JT not playing? I feel like a dumbass because I dropped him. It should be only one game, right?
Yeah, it's
probably. Yeah,
flu. He's on. They have him marked down as a COVID IR, but I think that's a loophole that the Colts are taking advantage of. From what I'm hearing, it's really just a bad stomach flu, and he's just really dehydrated.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you've already got talent at running back.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Oswaldo.
Take care. Bye.
All right, and I think that means we are clear. So we are going to get into Justin says PPR pick 1, Moss, Gaskins if he plays, Breida, Curtis Samuel, Wilkins.
Ooh, only picking one is tough.
I can't sit Curtis Samuel with the way they keep giving him the ball. They keep finding ways to get him the ball, get him in the end zone.
Yeah.
I can't sit him this week. Just can't do it.
So the thing is like Moss is my boy. Moss is the guy that I've been on for several weeks now, like pretty much all season. And then with Wilkins, he is the Jonathan Taylor backup. It's not Hines. Like Hines has a completely different skill set that they utilize, and Hines is still going to get his. He might even get a few more carries, but for the most part, Wilkins is going to be the guy that gets Wilkins and JT's carries now. So he has the potential for. You know what? If you just need a really solid floor, then I think I'm probably going to lean Wilkins because I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity today. But if you need big play, big boom potential, then go with Curtis Samuel because he is the guy that's going to get all the love and attention there. Even though I've been calling all week for Robbie Anderson to get a touchdown this week. He's definitely well past overdue for that touchdown. But even with that, I think Curtis Samuel could still have a solid game.
You know, it's we talked Friday night with Ray GQ, and he was talking about some of these players coming out of college. And one of the things he was saying is like some of these smaller wide receivers coming out can be great at the NFL level if they go to a coach that knows how to utilize their talent, that does some of these things like Shanahan does with Ayuk and with Deebo Samuel. And I'm saying that to say like it looks like that's what they're doing with Curtis Samuels and in Carolina is they're taking advantage of his athleticism and some of the creativity they're doing to get him the ball is just showing like he has talent if you know how to use him. And so I'm 100% down. Like if you played against Will Fuller, you need big play. So play Curtis Samuels. But if your team's like playing Brian Hill because Todd Gurley's out, you know, maybe you do stick with somebody like Wilkins, who's going to he's like a slow and steady, like freight train that'll get you some points, but not a whole bunch. And maybe he pops off, but I'm with you. We'll do Curtis Samuels for a boom and Wilkins for a floor. Justin says Saints or Miami defensive special teams.
Saints. They're playing a wide receiver at quarterback.
It's tough. It's tough because I probably would take the Broncos to beat the Jets this week, even without a quarterback, because Adam Gase is the coach of the Jets still.
Oh, wait.
They're not playing this week. I'm just saying if they played against each other, because like the Saints are playing the Broncos, right? And then Miami's playing the Jets. I would take the Broncos this week if they were playing against the Jets, even though they don't have a quarterback. Basically, if you had no defensive line, I'd probably still play. The quarterback for the Jets would still find a way to fall down. So I would probably still take that team, but I am going to say the Saints because the amount of turnovers I think the Broncos are going to have are going to be crazy. Tackles for losses, you get points for tackles for losses. Like
a lot of those.
It's going to be a lot of those too. Like Wildcat can be good, but if you know the guy, if there's like, I think it's going to be a disaster. I'm looking forward to it. I wish I actually had the Sunday package because that, as bad as that game's going to be, I want to watch that train wreck.
Yeah,
I do. I just want to watch it. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints. But Miami's not a bad play. You got two good ones. You know what I mean? All right. Justin says again, pick one PPR. Why just one?
Wow.
Why just one? Jefferson, Claypool, Brian Hill, Hines. Substitutions are allowed if the game is canceled. Can you sit Claypool is the question here.
Well, I mean, if substitutions are allowed, then he's definitely still in play.
Well, so do you? And I'm sure you have to designate the substitute ahead of time.
Yeah, he'll have to designate it before whichever player he designates plays, I'm sure.
So I am playing Claypool, and I'm gonna substitute Jefferson if they don't play.
Yeah, I can roll with that. I have no reason you any other way.
Hines is not bad. Brian Hill and Hines aren't bad plays, but I like your wide receivers. These rookies have been incredible this year. It's hard to bench either one of them. So I'm playing Claypool and Jefferson's my sub. All right, Dana says PPR flex Godwin or Gallman.
I like the second question better.
We'll get there. So Gallman, it's crazy because he looked good before he got hurt, and they're playing they're playing the Bengals. So it makes me want to play Gallman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Gallman here over Godwin.
Yeah, I think so too. And I hate to bench Godwin in any situation, but we've already seen what Dana's teams look like. So I think it's fair to guess that this flex may not even matter. She's probably going to win anyway.
So I think the second one's easy because I thought I saw that Hurst was injured. Did I see that this morning? So I'm going to say Jonnu Smith.
I'm going to look up real quick.
I thought I saw something coming out either late yesterday or he's questionable on the final injury report.
Says that he is expected to play.
Questionable. I'm still going to say Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, and Jonnu had a pretty bad game the last time he played the Colts just a couple of weeks ago. He just had a fluke touchdown rush that saved his week. But I don't anticipate him having a very good week this week either because the Colts really have done a great job of shutting down the tight ends. So personally, if Hurst is playing, I'm probably going to go with Hurst. But if that injury is as bad as they say it is, read around, try to find some articles. If it's even remotely bad, don't hesitate to start Jonnu because he's still a stud. They still might find ways to get him in the end zone.
Yeah, I think so. All right. There go that man, Gallman or Mike Davis in PPR, where Zeke screwed me. So he needs a boom play.
Yeah, I feel you there. I had to start Zeke as well in a couple of leagues, and I don't like it.
Did you hear what you just said? I had to start Zeke.
I know. My first round pick is weird. So I think just like you said, he needs boom here. So I'm going to go with Mike Davis. Between the two of them, I think he's the one because the other one plays for the Giants, so they don't have a lot of opportunities at touchdowns.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I agree. Especially with the boom play, I'm going to take Mike Davis. He's done better than anybody expected when Christian McCaffrey went down. You're getting what 70% of what Christian McCaffrey gave you, give or take, and that's more than what most teams get in a given week. So,
and that has leveled off quite a bit in recent weeks, but he at least started off huge, so we know that there's capability there.
Yeah, absolutely. King Ritzy says Dana is the fantasy goddess. I can't listening to her what teams she has. I can't, until there's another woman that comes in here with a better team, she's got that title. So reminder, you can give us a call at 205-797-5337, 205-799-SLEEP to get onto the Blitz, and you can get your questions heard before any of these questions we're reading off. Minnie Jordan says, good morning, PPR. Choose a flex. Deontay Johnson, AB, or DJ Moore. All right. So I said you got to play your studs. And this is a test because these other two players are pretty decent. I'm still starting Deontay Johnson.
Oh, okay. I can't argue. He's the better option between the three, but I'm still going with DJ Moore because I like to play it safe.
Yeah, so I think Minnie Jordan, it's up to you. If Deontay Johnson's the clear starter here, if they play, so it's going to be up to you on your risk adherent, like whether you're risk adverse or not. If you are super worried about this, I feel like they have to play this game. There is no way they can't play this game. They're going to ruin their season if they don't. Will it end up being okay if they push it to week 18? They'll make it work, and they'll just tell teams to suck it up. But I don't think they have the ability to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. So I'm going to say Deontay Johnson. But if you're risk adverse, DJ Moore is your best bet.
Is there a chance that they could even push it off until, say, Thursday, and then push their next game off till Wednesday, and then push that following game off till Tuesday, and do it that way until they get caught up as well? Like
Yeah,
they're
I
all-
mean, they haven't shown the ability to do that because Thursday. I mean, you're already into week 13 at that point, so like you're playing week 12 games in week 13. Like I get it. I don't know how badly that screws who. I don't have the future schedule in front of me, so I don't know who the Steelers or Ravens' next opponents are on whether how badly that hurts them going forward.
for fantasy purposes, though, there would be 1 week where you get both of those teams twice.
Yeah, man. You'd still have to count it as week 12. Like, if they played Thursday, I guess they could push it to Wednesday, but I don't know. That's really pushing it because then what are you going to do? You're going to play their next game on Tuesday again, and I don't know. Like, I think they're just screwed. They screwed themselves here. So I think they play it Tuesday, and
You're cutting out.
oh, I think they play, and RG3 is the starter.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, you could wake up Tuesday morning and the entire wide receiving corps is tested positive for COVID now because of the way that things have been going. I mean, it's entire rooms, entire groups of people. Look at the Broncos. I know that could be any team, but it definitely could be with a team that's already been pushed back because of the virus.
The Broncos kind of screwed themselves too, right? Like, because if those guys had just worn masks, they'd be playing. They didn't have a positive test.
Right.
Like, they'd have quarterbacks if their quarterbacks had just, they're supposed to be the smartest people on the team, right? The quarterbacks and center, right? Supposed to be the smartest people on the team. And your whole quarterback group decided not to wear masks. They did it to themselves, which is why I guess the NFL is probably making them deal with it versus like waiting till Tuesday and getting to play that game Tuesday too.
I saw an NFL meme from, or not an NFL meme. It was directly from the NFL, and that's pretty much exactly what they said. They said, "You guys are still going to play the game. Next time, if you don't want this kind of situation to pop up, follow the rules."
Right, and that it sucks. Don't get me wrong, but follow the rules.
Yeah.
Justin says PPR pick one. We already did. I think.
No,
I guess
because this one has Lazard in it.
Yeah, and it's got Beasley in it too. Moss, Gaskins, if he plays, Burita, Wilkins, Lazard, Curtis Samuel, and Beasley. Is it bad I want Beasley here?
Not at all. We already talked about how John Brown is out. He's still going to play the slot. He's still going to get a lot of targets, a lot of opportunity. But I also heard you talk about your love affair for Curtis as well.
I do love Curtis. I do. I think Beasley is the middle ground between boom and floor, right? Like, I think Beasley's got a safe floor, but he's also got, he's got 9 catches in him, right, for 80 yards and a touch. So I think he's that middle ground. So if you want a boom, Samuel, if you want a floor, we talked about Wilkins, but if you want that nice middle ground, and which is why I'm saying Beasley. I think he's got the most upside while having a safe floor. You like how I picked all 3 without picking one?
Yeah, I wanted to listen to your argument first so I could help me determine who I would start, but that didn't help me at all.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I think I'll still lean Beasley as well.
Yeah, listen, it's just he's going to get a lot of targets. He's probably going to get a lot of receptions because his targets are closer to the line of scrimmage, so they're easier to complete. He's got a lot of run after the catch. He's a little slippery guy. Plus, the dude can rap. Have you heard it?
He can rap? Oh, yeah. I have heard that, yeah.
Yeah. It's actually pretty decent.
His rapping is pretty decent.
If you haven't listened to the whole thing, we made Al listen to it. Al usually calls in. We made Al listen to it, and Al liked it too. So I don't feel like I'm too. I don't feel like I'm too in left field there, but it's pretty good.
So with the Beasley start as well, that Chargers offense is clicking, and they're getting better and better as the season goes along. So if they put up a lot of points, the Bills may have to resort to throwing the ball more as well. Which is also another reason why I like Moss as well. But I think I'd probably lean Beasley as well in PPR.
It sounded like
the morning pop saying he needs me, but I'm being lazy. I say that I'm sleepy. Can I please skip today? They taking it easy while I'm grinding every day. They won't notice, believe. He told me no, see, that's what they want you to think. You gotta see.
See what I'm talking about? It's not bad.
Yeah. That's not bad.
I've heard way worse from athletes. Way worse. So that's not so bad. Like I feel like he'd have a career if he wasn't out getting touchdowns. All right. So from the Mixler, Fear the Claw says, "Morning, guys. I got a few questions for today. Both my leagues, I'm fighting for a playoff spot. First league, half point. I need a wide receiver out of Aguilar, Kirk, and Rager. I don't know how you can say Aguilar at this point.
He's too inconsistent. I love the big plays that he gets when he gets them, but you don't know when he's going to get them.
So who you playing then?
Honestly, before the show, I would have said Rager, but I looked up all of Christian Kirk's stats after you brought it to the forefront earlier. And I mean, even though Kirk has been extremely inconsistent as well, he still he definitely has a better quarterback than Rager does. He has a better offense than Rager does. So he has a better situation than Rager does. So I think I'm going to go with Kirk.
Man, I don't want to sit Aguilar. I don't want to sit him. I know if they're playing the Falcons, man. I can't. Okay, Mike's going to have to come in here because I did spout off my Christian Kirk love earlier too, but I love a lot of these shitty guys. Like I've been a Davis truther for like years. Like my love for these wide receivers that have only been okay occasionally is pretty well known. So I like Kirk. I like Aguilar. I'm gonna go Aguilar. You went Kirk, Mike. If you're done listening in the background to the Beasley raps, do you want to jump in and say Aguilar or Kirk?
I will never be done listening. I mean, that's all I do while I'm in the background is I just jam to Beasley songs over and over.
I can't blame you.
That's why he had it on cue.
Exactly, dude. It was ready. I'm like, all I had to do is just turn it up, like into the radio song. Aguilar for me, and it's pretty close. Kirk, I really like a lot this week, but Aguilar just seems to be getting it done in these one-off situations, and this just seems like this is going to be another one of those one-off situations. It's going to be a thing where he's going to have to be involved. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. So yeah, give me Aguilar.
Do you have Le'Veon Bell's album ready to go as well?
That one's awful. That's the one I was talking about was awful. I couldn't remember exactly. I was pretty sure it was Le'Veon Bell, but I didn't want to besmirch his name without. But I remember we did this when we talked about Beasley's rap. Somebody brought up Bell. Oof, that one. That he should keep running. Oh, is he dialing in Le'Veon Bell?
I like to call Lev when we have a situation going on.
What's up, Ma? Did you get my?
We're gonna skip past that.
He's calling his mom and telling him how bad his rap is.
Hey.
You know you're awful when you can't sing in tune with auto-tune.
I'm just a tip for a feature. I'm the one they want to meet. I got that bitch that she drinking. She in the fields but listen to Drake, and I can't believe all the shit that she taking. She on the way and I hope she make it. She want to go with it.
Yeah.
That sounds as bad as his goal line looks.
All right, we're gonna get back into the questions. Let me look. Oh, we got a call. So caller, you're on with the Blitz. I hope you're enjoying Le'Veon Bell's rap. What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Scott. I'm from Nashville, and I have two quick questions for you. Being from Nashville, I'm a huge Titans fan, so I'm trying not to be biased. I'm in a QB2 league, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I should play Tannehill or Bridgewater. I'm leaning towards Bridgewater.
Tannehill is playing the Colts, which I do not like.
Yeah, I like Bridgewater a lot this week.
Bridgewater's playing the yeah. I'm gonna say Bridgewater as well.
And I am a Colts fan, so I can proudly say that I would definitely start Bridgewater if I were you.
It was a tough match. Tannehill only put up like 10 points. But, and then I was trying to decide on some flexes. It's two flexes. My options are Miles Sanders, Devontae Parker, Kenyon Drake, Antonio Brown, and Fulgham. I'm definitely planning on playing Miles Sanders. I'm trying to decide between Kenyon Drake and Devontae Parker for my flex too, unless y'all think otherwise.
Fitzpatrick is starting, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
Parker
feel
against the
like he's
Jets.
been connecting with Parker better.
Yeah, Parker against the Jets for sure.
Yeah, it sucks to bench Drake against the Patriots, but that's a good safe bet with Parker for sure.
And I agree with that. Yep, totally.
All
I
right.
like Parker a lot.
And then, do you agree with the flex one, Miles Sanders?
Yeah, I do. I'll take Miles Sanders over Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
Okay. So Miles Sanders and Parker.
Yes, sir.
All right. Awesome. Y'all just confirm my decisions. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Good luck this week.
Good luck.
Likewise. Take care.
Thank you. All right, Justin. It's you're about to turn into a pumpkin. We only had Justin this morning until 11:30. We're pushing on that. So, Justin, why don't you tell people where they can find you besides the Blitz and the Sleeperwire?
Yeah, so check us out at Toiletless of Titles. And this Tuesday night, we're actually going to have a big episode where we are potentially going to be dropping some huge news. One of the big news that I'm extremely excited about is a brand new, I'm going to call it state-of-the-art studio that I'll be recording out of from here on out. So I'm pretty pumped about that. So it's kind of a partnership deal with someone that we got going on, and then so we do have some big news coming down the line, but on top of that, our guy John Sheps at Coach Sheps and at Nate_Dirt19 are my other two co-hosts. They do a great job. They're on Twitter right now answering questions for people as well. So after you guys are done with the Blitz and you get all the answers you want from the Blitz, come on over, and I'm sure we're just going to confirm the same thing that these guys are telling you. So but thank you very much for having me on. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next Sunday.
All right, thanks, Justin. All right, and Justin is gone, but
like that, he's out.
and he's out. So yeah, tune in to Justin's show after our waiver wire show, of course, on Tuesday nights with Mike, George, and I think it's just Mike and George at this point, right? And you guys have
right.
So that's Mike and George are enough. So
we're too much for TV anyways.
Too much for most anyway. So you can give us a call at 205-797-5337, 205-79-SLEEP. And you can jump right into the next Mixler question, Fear the Claw. Other league, PPR, I need running back out of Singletary, Lindsey, McKinnon, Samaje Perine for the Bengals, or Hyde. Ooh, that's gross. That is gross.
Oh.
Normally I'd say Lindsey, but I don't want any part of that team this week. So I'm going to say Singletary and cross your fingers.
I think that's where I'm at with that too. Man, I McKinnon kind of sounds okay, but with Mostert coming back, I kind of fade on that. So, yeah, give me Singletary, and I don't like it. It doesn't sound fun.
Matt Mosier 1 says, I need a running back 1. Already had Gibson play. Well, so you already did well. Like, you just bench the rest of your team at this point, right? 3 touchdowns, all those yards. Like, you're okay. Miles Sanders, Brian Hill, Carson, and Mostert. Also 2 flex. Well, let's start with the running back. I think I'm going to play Miles Sanders here.
I think I'm going to go Raheem Mostert just because when he's in, you most start him. So I like Mostert a lot. He seems to find the end zone a lot. Very productive. So that's who I'd take here.
Yeah, I don't want to sit Sanders, but I might do it.
I think I'd flex Sanders. I'm okay with flexing Sanders and Deontay Johnson.
Well, yeah. Okay. So then the wide receivers are Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Slayton, Deontay Johnson, or one of the 2 running backs. Okay. That's fine. So we're going to do Mostert, Sanders, Deontay Johnson. And what was the last one? Sorry, man. 1 running back to it. So Deontay Johnson, Mostert. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So we're playing
Sanders, Mostert, Johnson.
Yep. There you go.
And the tough part is, again, we think they're going to play. We're pretty sure they're going to play. We know they're going to play. So Deontay Johnson. Oswaldo, do I start Jacobs, James Robinson, CEH, or plug in someone else. If it's only one, man, every time I don't play James Robinson, he goes off.
All right.
But you can't sit Jacobs. He's been
can't.
playing too well.
Yeah, I mean, I like James Robinson as much as the next guy, which is, I guess, probably actually I don't, if you listen to me at all. I'm not a big fan. I just really like his opportunity here. But Jacobs, all day. You can't sit Jacobs, dude. He's a stud.
And CEH, they're playing Tampa, who's plays very well against the run. They even play well against pass catching running backs because their linebacking core plays side to side, sideline to sideline so fast. So I am 100% down with Jacobs here. All right. Let's see. Oh, we'll do this one. PPR, go Goddard or Ebron?
Goddard.
Goddard.
Or Ebron. I'm playing Ebron. Goddard has competition coming back today with well, I guess Ertz isn't coming back this week, so I don't mind Goddard, but I feel like I'm playing anybody I can against the Baltimore Ravens this week. They're just decimated right now.
And also the thing is Rodgers is there for the Eagles, and everybody keeps making fun of me for saying that, but every week he scores a touchdown.
Right.
Right. So, I've said it multiple times. People, every time I mention him, says, "Oh, Rodgers ain't nothing," and then every week he scores a touchdown. Not that that's the best thing, but for a tight end, if you get 3 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown, you've got a top 12 week.
Right.
So let's see. Dana says that. And on her team, she's already played Will Fuller, so she's already won. This goes back to the team she had where she had all the great options and she needed a trade. She's already played Will Fuller, and she's got Michael Thomas. I swear to God, that is a one-team Dana-only league where she has all the best players. Because every time she mentions a player, I go, how is it possible that she has all these players?
Right.
Do you start Wentz over Mayfield? God, can you recommend Wentz at any point going forward?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to recommend him, it's going to be over somebody like Baker Mayfield. But this week, I like Baker Mayfield
against the Jaguars.
Well, and he's out of the weather for the first time in weeks, so that'll be something else to see too. So, give me Baker Mayfield out in the Florida heat and all day over Wentz.
Let's see. There go that man. Hurts is supposed to get more playing time this week. I'll believe it when I see it. Maybe, but I'll believe it when I see it. Let's see. A whole bunch of chatter in the league. I'm just trying to, I'm sorting through comments.
Yep, I gotcha.
Hey guys, Mike Davis or Mostert and DJ Moore or Justin Jefferson? You're going to say Mostert. I'll probably say Mike Davis. I'm going to say Mike Davis because he gets, assuming PPR. Oh, he says half point PPR. I'm going to take the volume with Davis over the boom play of Mostert.
How dare you put words in my mouth? I would never pick. No, Mike Davis. Mike Davis here too. It's just if Christian McCaffrey keeps staying out, they're going to have to find ways to get him involved, and they usually do. I know it's been a down few weeks for him, but that's been a lot tougher matchups. They're kind of out of that rut here, and I think we see a really productive day out of Mike Davis.
And then DJ Moore or Justin Jefferson. You're a big DJ Moore guy. I know that, but can you play him over Justin Jefferson at this point?
No, Justin Jefferson's too much of a stud. He's a wide receiver one. Rest of the season.
Absolutely. All right. We look at us agreeing on things. That probably is not good for our listeners. Dalton Schneider says Zach Moss, AB, Montgomery, Jarvis Landry, and Crowder pick 2 half-point PPR.
I'm never going to sit Crowder. And I feel like Jarvis Landry. I like Baker Mayfield a lot today, so of course I like Jarvis Landry. So Landry and Crowder for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go that route too. Both PPR guys, both guys that you expect a lot of catches. The only struggle I have with Crowder is that Miami secondary's actually played pretty well. But I feel like it's going to be a decent day for Crowder, and I'll go with Jarvis Landry because Montgomery hasn't given you anything. Zach Moss is a crapshoot, and AB is a crapshoot. So those 2 guys are safe. I like both those guys. Bobby Pigskins. Welcome, Bobby. We haven't heard your voice, man. You can give us a call whenever you feel like it, 205-797-5337. Welcome in, and I don't know what he's trying to say there. Bienvenue, sleepers. That's Old English or something. It's lost on me. I'm in a hole after starting Zeke and Duke J on Thanksgiving, and I lost Connor. If I lose, my season is finished in this league, and I'm sorry that is a bad start. I have Samuel and Bridgewater in the flex and super flex. Are you starting Fitzpatrick or James White over either one of them in a 12-team PPR super flex? I would start Fitzpatrick over Bridgewater.
I think I would too against the Jets. I really like Fitzmagic today.
Now, would you play James White over Curtis Samuel? He needs boom, right? Like he's already in a hole. And I feel like Curtis Samuel is the boom.
I do too. Yeah,
So,
for sure. If I'm playing Curtis Samuel for any reason, it's for a boom.
So this is the question that I if you told me at the beginning of the season this next question would be something we had to answer, I would have called you insane. Michael Thomas or Devontae Parker?
Ooh. You got to start Michael Thomas, right? Like he's still catching the targets there. He's still getting a lot of targets. I got to go with Michael Thomas.
Listen, passes from tight ends are still valid, even if it's all game. So I'm going to say Michael Thomas here too. I do like Devontae Parker's chances this week, but Michael, you can't sit Michael Thomas, especially down like trying to get into the playoffs.
I have a feeling we're going to see a little bit of Jameis Winston, and if we see Jameis Winston, I really, really, really like Michael Thomas.
That's it. It's absolutely insane to me that they're not like they paid him and he's still sitting on the bench. I mean, as a Bucs fan, it makes me laugh, especially after he ate a W after crushing us on primetime football. But go ahead and ride that bench, Jameis. But it's amazing to me they're not playing him. Right. Jesus Merck says, need one receiver, one flex, PPR. Tyler Boyd, Michael Pittman, Le'Veon Bell, or Gus Edwards. He could also pick up Deebo Samuels, Corey Davis, and Russell Gage. I am a giant Corey Davis fan, but I don't know that I pick him up against the Colts. The problem is Tyler Boyd with whatever they're running out at quarterback today just doesn't excite me like it did early on. You know, he's been a stud all year, but can you trust him this week? I'm going to say Michael Pittman here.
It's Michael Pittman for sure for me, and it's not even close. My flex, I might grab Deebo Samuels. I really like Gus Edwards this week. I just don't know if we can count on. I feel like we can count on that game happening one way or the other. I think they're going to be playing, but for him to be a guy that stays off that COVID list and everything like that, that's the kind of stuff that scares me. So I feel like I might grab Deebo Samuels. I'm not saying drop Gus Edwards. I hope you got somebody better to drop to get him. I'd almost even drop Le'Veon Bell over Gus Edwards. But for me, I think it'd be Michael Pittman and Deebo Samuel here.
I'm with you 100%. I just hate that Corey Davis is sitting out there and you could have him.
I agree.
It's just the wrong week.
Yeah, exactly. I think Corey Davis rest of the season is great, but I don't like him this week at all.
Let's see. If we wanted to become famous, we could buy followers, primes, and viewers on. I mean, maybe we'll do that for next week. I don't know.
Bigfollows.com. Did you accidentally click on it? And then now Jason's gone, leaving me here all by myself. He clicked the link, guys. This is why you don't click the link.
Am I actually gone? I'm not gone. I'm still here. All right. Stone Cold Rogers, Crazy Canuck, Jonnu Smith or Jordan Reed in PPR. I like Jordan Reed this week.
I think I do too. I feel like I'm crazy sitting Jonnu Smith over him, but you know what we're looking at here is I bet you $100 right now. Both of these guys turn out a 3 for 33 performance, but whether or not one of them catches a touchdown is up for grabs. I like Jordan Reed catching the touchdown.
I'm with you. All right. Stone Cold Rogers, pick 2 in flex spots, 0.5 PPR, Pittman, Landry, Corey Davis, Curtis Samuel, Zach Moss. For me, it's going to be Pittman and Landry if you need safe, Curtis Samuel if you need boom. So Pittman for sure. And then it's going to be up to you whether you want safe floor or boom potential. All right. We did this one already. Goddard or Ebron. So we're going to move past that one. PPR, choose a tight end. Jonnu, Rudolph, or Goddard?
I think on this one, I'm leaning probably Goddard. I think he has the best opportunity out of all of these. Rudolph just doesn't seem to get the target share for me to get excited about him. He is prone to getting that touchdown, but that's it. You know, you're not going to get anything else outside of that.
Yeah.
I would say Goddard for sure.
I'm with you as well. Carson, Bass, Crosby, or Sanders?
Is this a band? Isn't that like a band that
Carson, Stills, and Ash?
Crosby, Sanders, Bass, and Young?
Yeah, something like that. I'm going to say Sanders.
I'm going to agree with you because I don't know. So,
yeah. Listen, I was just pretending I was, way to blow up my spot, Mike. I was trying to show that I was sure about that one.
Yeah, kicker savvy.
Yeah,
it's okay to not be kicker savvy. It's my goal to eventually eliminate them from all fantasy football leagues. I feel like I just now have mine going.
Yeah, I'm not in any leagues with kickers anymore. I don't have one league with it.
Right.
I'm mostly in dynasties at this point, and kickers and dynasties are crazy. So
I have one dynasty with a kicker in it. And that's my only kicker league I have.
Holy crap! I don't even know. Like,
it doesn't.
Okay.
I just don't get it either, dude. I don't understand it either.
If your starter Hinton as a flex, will you receive points when he's a wide receiver? No. If they allow you to start him and he plays quarterback, you get the points for throwing, just like trick plays. If any player throws a trick play touchdown, they get the passing touchdown points. So it's going to be the same. If you start him at a wide receiver, he plays quarterback, he's going to get all the same points a quarterback would get. I don't know about passing yards. If you're in one of those leagues where you get points per passing yard, I guess so. I guess you get it too. I don't know how that works, but yeah, you'd get points for touchdowns for sure. Wilson. Oh, it just jumped on me. Mike Davis or CEH? I'm going to say Mike Davis. CEH is playing the Bucks.
Yep, I agree.
Crowder or Tyler Boyd? And I'm going to say Crowder because that Bengals quarterback situation's a mess. Brittany B, full PPR for reference. Already in a hole having started Zeke. Did she ask a question besides that? Did I miss it? Oh yeah, that was we missed that one.
Ahead a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so AJ Brown, Robert Woods, and DJ Moore. I can start 2. If I do, I'd have to bench Sanders or Jacobs. Already starting Devontae Adams. So I'm assuming you can pick one and play Sanders and Jacobs. 2 if you. I think I sit Sanders and I play AJ Brown. I play AJ Brown and Robert Woods.
Man, I have a tough time benching Sanders. I think I play Sanders, Jacobs, and AJ Brown here myself. I just like the consistency the running back brings to the table. I like AJ Brown over Robert Woods and DJ Moore. So that's where I got to where that is. I like to play Sanders. I'd like to play Jacobs.
And listen, Ty goes to the runner, so I'm with you. I'll jump in, although Robert Woods had an amazing game this last week. But again, it was against a bad Bucs secondary, so maybe that doesn't happen again. So I'm going to go with you, Sanders, Jacobs, and AJ Brown.
Okay.
PPR. Oh, you're going back to Gallman, Mostert, or Robert Woods in my flex for Wilson 27. I'm gonna say Robert Woods, but I think you're probably gonna say one of the running backs.
I'm going to say Gallman here. Yeah, Gallman's just been getting the job done. I mean, I like what the guy's been doing. He shouldn't be. He's disgustingly bad, but he's been making it look good this season. So give me him. Like I'd actually take Gallman here.
Assuming PPR, I really like Robert Woods and all the targets he gets, all the receptions he gets. He's another guy that gets the ball close to the line of scrimmage and makes a lot after the catch. And, I think he does that again this week. But we're not much help for you with two of us, Wilson. So just whichever argument you like, go with that side.
There you go.
Let's see. DJ Moore or Claypool. I have to play Claypool now if you're worried about the game. Justin, if you're worried about the game at all, play DJ Moore. But for me, that's the only reason why you would play DJ Moore is if you're really worried about the game.
I would say don't be worried about that game. I mean, even if these guys all get COVID, they'll just keep on subbing in replacement players. I'm telling you, the NFL is going to make sure this game happens one way or the other. It's just a logistical nightmare to get rid of it. I might be wrong. I mean, but I don't think that I am. I feel like Claypool's the guy right here.
I agree. All right. Wilson 27, Mike Davis or CEH. We just did this one. Yeah.
Yep. So now we're on the whack-a-dat.
All right. Snell, Wilkins, Moss, or Gordon with CEH. Wilkins. Justin mentioned it earlier. Wilkins is going to get a lot of the Jonathan Taylor rushes. I do expect Hines to get a little bit more work, but Wilkins is going to get a bunch more. Snell looked good when Connor was out before, but they also hand the ball off to a bunch of other guys too. So I'm saying Wilkins here.
Yeah, I don't like to play Benny Snell, but man, I feel like he's going to be the volume play. But I'd almost even go Moss here because I feel like Moss is a little bit more reliable out of this group. Yeah, give me actually Moss here. But it's close. I don't mind Wilkins. If we want to play tie ball game, I'm good with that too, and give you Wilkins.
Okay. All right. Pac-Man says, follow up. Should I start Eckler, Lazard, Aguilar, Curtis Samuels? I'm already starting DJ Moore.
Aguilar.
Oh, wait.
Eckler.
No, Eckler. Eckler's 100%. Yeah.
Eckler 100%. And we got a caller, Jason, so I'm going to bring him in. Caller, you're in. What's your name? Where are you from? Been a minute.
You know my name. You know where I'm from. Good morning.
What is happening, Al? What's going on? How we doing, man?
What's the word, homies?
It's not good, man. It's looking like it's a crazy day already for the fantasy football world.
Well, I mean, definitely with the whole COVID, damn near the whole Baltimore Ravens,
right?
Whole squad damn near got it now. By the time all the reports have came out, it is looking a little crazy.
And
then
did you hear we played some Beasley earlier? Were you listening? We played some of Beasley's rap earlier for those listeners that hadn't heard it yet. I just didn't know if you were listening.
Bring him to square. Oh, word? Now, see, I did miss it. I've been looking for my headphones. I don't know. They got to be right there. I've been looking for my headphones all morning because I know my son was going crazy, so I missed that part. But y'all played the Cole Beasley. That's right. Shout out to Cole Beasley and the Bills.
Yes, sir. So what can we do for you this week, Al?
All right. Well, Austin Eckler is back. I've been waiting this whole time. So, of course, I'm starting him. But my question is, as far as my running backs, I have Giovanni Bernard, CEH, and Austin Eckler. I want to start all three, 2 in the running back, 1 in the flex. Okay. Am I wrong for this?
I mean, what are your options outside of it? Because, I made the mistake of playing studs against Tampa's rush defense before, and I'm not saying CE just have a bad game, but most running backs do, and that's largely because Tampa can't stop anybody in the air.
Okay.
So what are your options besides the running backs?
My other options are this: what I'm working with, right? My wide receivers. I got Bobby Trees and Chris Godwin right now. That's who I got in the lineup. My only other options at wide receiver is Crowder, Higgins, and Deontay Johnson.
I want to get Deontay Johnson in the lineup, man. I know it's tough with the game the way it's going to be, but we've talked about all morning. We expect the game to play. The NFL doesn't have a lot of options to rearrange this schedule, not in a way that's fair to all the teams. So I believe this game is going to get played, and I need to get Deontay Johnson in that lineup.
Okay. So do I start Eckler?
Yes.
CEH, or do I avoid the matchup? Go balls to the wall, avoid the matchup, like you said. Start Giovanni Bernard because they going against the Giants. We know they trash. I was start Bernard and Eckler at my running backs. Sit CEH. I know it sounds crazy, but sit CEH, play Robert Woods, Chris Godwin, and then flex Deontay Johnson.
So here's what I just said all that about CEH, but I think Gio's in a bad situation too. I'm leaving in CEH over Gio because the Bengals situation's bad too. And now between the two, what I can say is CEH will probably fall into the end zone, right? Like, I don't think he's going to have a good yards day. I don't think he's going to have a good, in general, I don't think he's going to have a great day. But what I do think is Kansas City is going to get into the red zone a lot, going to get down inside the 5 a lot, and CEH will be able to fall in the end zone here or there. So if it was me, and Mike, you can agree with me or not, I'm sitting Gio Bernard. I'm playing Deontay Johnson, CEH, and Austin Eckler. That's what I was thinking I'd go with there. I don't trust Gio this week. I don't trust the Bengals at all this week, even though they're playing the Giants.
I'm with that. I did forget about the QB.
I mean, do we even know who's playing? Who's their quarterback? Is it Shipley?
I don't. I was say who is starting. Now that you mentioned it,
I mean, they played Shipley when Burrow went down, but now they're saying Shipley's not going to be their quarterback. So,
Finley, right?
Or Finley. Sorry, not Shipley. You're right. Yeah, Finley.
I think Brandon Allen is their quarterback today.
I mean, right?
Right, and he was the quarterback for the Broncos. Brandon Allen, yeah.
Right.
He was quarterback for the Broncos last year, and he was just dreadful for them.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the whole situation right there. What have y'all been suggesting for your Broncos, Dirty?
Avoid them at all costs and play the Saints defense as much as you possibly can. Play the Saints defense.
I'm going against the Saints defense, man. He's already talking mess in the group chat.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, and it's probably justified because, buddy, they're going to get 30 points, I'm sure. It's like throwing somebody, 17-year-old, the keys to a McLaren and saying, hey, go in the Daytona 500. Have fun. Like you've been driving for a year. You should have a handle on this.
Do you guys remember, and this is going back 5, 6, 7 years now, do you guys remember when Freeman, the quarterback for the Bucks, got bounced from the Bucks mid-season and Minnesota picked him up and they started him on Monday night with like 3 days on the team and how bad that was? And that guy was an actual quarterback.
Right.
This is some wide receiver that played some QB in college that you're like, he hasn't practiced with the team all year as a quarterback, and now he's starting as your quarterback. It's just
yeah, it's going to be a bad scene.
I really want to watch this game. Like, this is literally the only scenario that would make me want to watch that game, and I really want to watch that game.
Right. Yeah, no, it's going to be a fun one to watch, especially to see because that New Orleans defense hasn't been like quiet either.
No, they've been good
out football. So, like, give them this to feast on. This ought to be like watching a lion eat a gazelle.
Now watch this work. Watch this work, and this shifts the NFL dramatically forever, where teams stop buying into quarterbacks. Anyway, that joke died.
Man, after all that Saints talk, you guys have just made my week slightly more scary. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You know, we're going to give you the reality, unfortunately.
No, I'm with it. Well, no, I appreciate y'all as always, man. All right, we rolling with this lineup. You know, Josh Allen is starting. I hit Mike and George up the other day just to make sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to start Josh Allen at any time you possibly can. It's a good idea.
That's right. Even though Deshaun Watson went crazy on the Lions. I wish I could have called y'all that morning because I would have told y'all exactly what would have happened. I would have told y'all if Patricia don't win this game, he's fired. Sure enough, didn't win.
They waited,
and now he's fired.
6 weeks too long for that decision, in my opinion. I can't believe they waited so long.
6 weeks and one full season too long.
I knew it was going to happen Thanksgiving because you know the Lions. That's the only thing we have to live for as far as the game here in Detroit. As far as the Lions is concerned, it's Thanksgiving, and when you lose on a national stage, you got to go. Nope, you've been losing and you lost this. You got to go. I don't care who it was against. You lost. You got to go, bro.
Right.
I agree. All right. Well, Al, dude, hope you have a good week. Good luck this week playing that Saints defense. That's tough, man.
Oh man, yes sir. Appreciate y'all. Good luck as well. And I'll be DMing y'all for sure. Appreciate
Absolutely. Good luck this week. DJ, please.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all be good.
You too. Thanks, Al. All right, couple last questions. We're going to get out of here. Shaquem Banks says Big Ben or Teddy, 4 points. I'm going to say Big Ben playing against that Ravens.
Yeah, that decimated Ravens D. I agree. I like that.
And then the last question we have, Moss or Benny Snell?
Oh, man. That one's for Moss for me.
Moss for me as well. I'm checking over in Mixler, just check to see if we had anything. Nope, we are clear now. It looks like we are.
I did finally get my Thrive going and looking at a few of the props that they have. What do you think about this? Phillip Rivers against Tennessee, they got the over-under set at 275.5. Would you take the over or the under on that?
I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about with betting because I have no freaking clue.
You think he's going to throw over 275.5 yards or under 275?
It's Phillip Rivers. I'm going to say under.
So that's what I said was the under. Derrick Henry combined or just over 90.5 total rushing yards. Just rushing yards, not receiving yards.
Against the Colts defense. I'm going to say over.
I'm also taking the over on that one. This is again from Thrive, one of our sponsors. Guys, make sure you get on there. They double your deposit right away. Use the code Sleeper. Let them know that we sent you. Keenan Allen 5.5 total receptions. Is that what
over? Over is a smash. That we've made this joke. George makes this joke every week. That I wish I had somebody that looked at me like Justin Herbert looks at Keenan Allen.
Absolutely.
5 is like I don't bet. I want to go. I've already signed up for Thrive because they're a partner, but like I want to go in there and I want to put a whole bunch of money on that Keenan Allen. That is a smash accept.
Right. You know, it's because you know he's going to at least get that many or more. The one thing about it is Buffalo's corners are pretty tough. They may have to fade away from that. DeAndre Hopkins over under that he sees the touchdown today, that he finds the end zone.
They are playing the Patriots, right?
Yes, sir.
Up against Gilmore?
Yep.
I'm going to say under.
You're going to say on the under. It's a 0.5 point. So, I mean, that's it. It either does or he doesn't.
Yeah.
And the Thrive give me of the day is DJ Chark under or over 59.5 yards.
Glennon is throwing the football. I don't know. Is that really a give me of the day? I'm going to say under, but is it supposed to be over? Am I supposed to be taking the over?
I believe DJ Chark is out today. I'm looking.
Okay.
So if he's out, it's a lock, stock, and yeah, they will be without DJ Chark and Chris Conley on Sunday.
Wait, so go steal that money.
Yeah, you got to do 10, right? It's all about stacking up all your prop bets. They give you X amount of points. So on that one, the Derrick Henry, the over is 80 points. the under is 120 points, and it's the one with the most points at the ends that wins. So
Right.
when you get on these prop bets, you got to stack them up. You can't just go throw money at that one in particular prop bet, because there's a lot of them where you'd be like, oh man, hook, line, and sinker. You got to get 10 of them right, and then that 10 of them comes up as your combined score. So it's a little bit trickier than that.
You know what's funny is I don't do a lot of betting because my wife would kill me if I lost a shit ton of money every week, and I'd find a way to lose a bunch of money every week. So I signed up for Thrive. I've signed up for a bunch of the daily fantasy stuff. I've got money in like a handful of accounts. This week sounds like a great week to go start like losing some of that money over at Thrive or winning a bunch, you know. But I just don't do a lot of betting because I work way too damn hard to lose a bunch of money gambling on sports.
Yeah, typically, you know, I mean, I don't really wager more than $20, anything like that. Now once I win, I start playing a little bit crazier with the house's money, of course, but my actual money, I don't.
When we went on a cruise, like the way I used to play at the blackjack table, because I love blackjack, is I take $50, and if I lost $50, I stopped playing. But I'd keep playing until I get up to like $300. Then I take $250 off the table and play with my $50 again. And I paid for a whole cruise doing that one time. Like my wife and my whole cruise, I gambled every night, won about $1,500, paid for the whole room and almost all the drinks, not all the drinks.
Right. So, yeah. I had the same kind of a similar experience once in Deadwood, South Dakota. That's how I paid for the whole trip there. Just I was tearing it up on the poker table, couldn't lose. So
I've got to ask though, like, trip to Deadwood, South Dakota is usually like a pack of gum and a handshake. Like, how much did you actually win?
Oh man, Deadwood is a crazy ass place. You'd actually have to see it to believe it. It's a pretty rough little town. A lot of good poker players that go up there. Things like that. It's actually a pretty cool place.
I'm still picturing like the Wild West, like saloon style, like the swinging doors.
It very much is still like that.
Spittoons on the floor. I mean, that's why their COVID situation is the way it is. They got spittoons all over the floor still.
Right. They won't hear about COVID until about 2025. So they're set up there. So if you want to go somewhere where they haven't even heard of the shit yet.
I mean, they have it. They just don't know about
it. It's just a cough. Grandma ain't been seen for a few days.
USPS still hadn't got the bail out there yet, but
right.
We did. So while we've been shooting the crap, we did get a couple quick questions. So I feel like we should get into them. Hill or Herbert? Herbert's a smash, man.
Herbert for sure. Like it's not even kind of close. Herbert.
And Stone Cold Rogers, Melvin Gordon, Matt Breida, McKinnon, Malcolm Brown, and Standard.
Oh boy. I think I'm gonna go with Melvin Gordon here in Standard. I feel like he's about the only thing on that team that might be able to touch the end zone. So
I think the problem is they have to actually get near the end zone. I'm gonna say Malcolm Brown. I can't say Melvin Gordon because I don't think they sniff the end zone in Denver.
Hottie Potty says, how many points do you think the Saints D will score? 1,000.
All the points.
I think all of the points today. Yeah, no, I mean, the points. It should. I mean, and we're sitting there saying this quarterback will probably go out there and just light him up because we've got zero tape on him. It's going to be very basic packages. A lot of times the keep it simple, stupid approach can get you pretty far ahead. So the fact that we're so high on the Saints D, they'll probably go out there and like just get demolished by it. But
do you ever see?
Wow, You
remember the Water Boy where the coach on the other side just took a knee every play so they could put their defense back on the field and Waterboy couldn't do anything?
Right.
Like, I feel like the Saints could just come out and take a knee 4 times and punt.
Yeah, that would be damn funny right there. The Diesel says Denzel Mims or Russell Gage.
Do I have to?
Yeah, you have to.
I'm gonna say Gage hasn't done anything in a. I don't know. I'm gonna say Mims for the upside.
I'm gonna say Mims for the upside too. Cam or Taysom Hill. I'm leaning Taysom Hill for his legs. That's
all. I'm with you. Cam has legs, but he doesn't know how to use them.
Right.
So
I think the less popular ZZ Top song.
You're right. He's got legs and he doesn't know how to use them, right?
Use them.
That's from the ZZ Top group that shaved. Like they're the opposite of No Shave November. Like in November, they just cut it all off.
There you go. Like poor Uncle Fester standing on the.
You think so? I know you and I know ZZ Top. Do you think like our average listener knows ZZ Top now?
Right, Dana Hill's sitting there right now going, who the fuck are they talking about?
She's Googling ZZ Top as we speak.
Right? Is that a car?
Right.
Toddy says, Wilkins or Brian Hill, PPR.
Sorry, Wilkins or Brian. I'm going to take a shot on Brian Hill because he's looked good when Gurley's been out.
Yeah, actually, I like Brian Hill a lot. Another Wyoming guy that actually had the pleasure of playing with Josh Allen. So give me Brian Hill. Anybody touched by Josh Allen is better than most other people.
Whack Dat keeps saying Taysom Hill. He wants Taysom Hill over Herbert. But, man, have you seen Herbert play? Apparently you haven't seen Herbert play because that dude's the
touchdown scoring machine. Teddy or Big Ben, we both said Big Ben there, Ricardo.
Big Ben. We did. And that was 4 points PPR or 4 points touchdowns. But
touchdown,
yeah. And I think that may just about do it for us. Like, so what I want to say besides thank you for listening, thank you for being part of this. I know week 12 is going to be kind of crazy. Enjoy it like it's a train wreck of NFL's own making. So go out and watch it and enjoy it. It's been a tough fantasy season for everybody. So all you can do is have fun with it, right? I want to say thank you from BFTG Jason, from @DirtyJobs21, from @Sleeperwire Show for listening every week, tuning in, getting advice. Remember, we have the Tuesday Waiver Wire Show, the Wednesday Mail Sack, Thursday Show with Chris, Friday AMAs with George, and then you can come back and catch us right here on Sunday mornings with the Blitz. I want to thank Justin with Toilets from Titles. He's got a announcement Tuesday night, so after the Waiver Wire Show, go listen to the announcement, and you'll be in a new studio apparently, which it's got to be better than my Eeyores and stuff over here, so that's good for him. I appreciate that. And guys, thank you for listening, and we will catch you right here next week and on all of our other shows.